Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Oh, hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Mike, back with the Case 1840 restoration, and we are really close, guys. A few more videos on this. I'm hoping to wrap this restoration up by the end of the year. There's still a lot of little things to do. I've been kind of putting this off, but these are for the brakes, parking brakes. So on the gray cab Case 1840s, you got the single lap bar that goes up over your head. On the brown cab, you have these dual lap bars, one on each side, and you fold them in when you're ready to run the machine, and that pulls on the parking brake cables. But these are in really bad shape. Let me give you a close-up on what's going on with them. So a couple things right off the bat. Obviously these cushion pads are completely shot, so we're going to take care of that. But my main concern is all the slop in here. So there's supposed to be a bushing in here, and it's probably either worn through or completely gone. Someone, instead of using a replacement cotter ring or external snap ring, it's been welded back. Both of them are that way, been welded on. So that's an issue. My plan of attack for these is to cut this weld out and get this off so I can build this back up, and I'll probably end up boring this oversized and putting some sort of bushing in there. So let's get those taken apart and we'll see what we got. So it even looks like the external clip ring, circlip, what do you want to call it, it's still there. They just welded over it. So I think I'm going to resort to grinding this down with an angle grinder. And then the other side, the original welded pin is completely gone, and it's been replaced with a bolt with a thin nut and weld. So this has definitely been hacked on before, but we're gonna take care of all that. See if this will just break that weld loose. Nope. Not quite. Not much there. I think if I get a cut-off wheel, I can get that taken care of. It's broken loose. So yeah, there's no bushing that I can see in there at all. Prior evidence of someone grinding it apart. Let's set this one aside and we'll go after the other one here. That's it. Okay, so originally I had those same like plastic bushings that you see a lot in the other linkages on the machine, mainly the tilt cylinder linkages, lifts linkages. But I think I can salvage all this. I'm probably going to make new pins and weld new pins in, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the holes here just yet. It's in pretty rough shape. Wow. That is almost rotted through. Oh my goodness. That is a lot worse than I thought. I could see a hole. That's not good. This one's just as bad, if not worse. Thought this was going to be a fast project, and that just caused a whole lot more work. I spent a while contemplating what I was going to do. I know for sure I can't use these. Even if I ignored all the pitting and just filled it in with body filler to retain the original diameter, it's just too far gone. And this restoration's too nice to make this sort of compromise. So what I'm thinking is cutting them off here and welding this piece on new. I don't have any tube, these are hollow. I do have some solid, which is going to make this heavier. But it may be to my benefit, is because, as you know, trying to bend tube, it wants to kink. So I don't think making this end solid, I'm going to add some weight to it, but I don't think overall is going to really matter. So I think I'm going to try to bend this. This is an old brake shaft out of an old Ford tractor. I got 2 of these, and they're both 1-inch diameter, so it's the right size. Yeah, that's the plan. I think I can, probably best to do it in the forge. So I guess I need to start whining over it and start doing something about it. Most of you probably have not seen the forge that I built a few years back when I'm not really into blacksmithing, but wanted to play around with it. So I built this little propane tank forge. It is insulated. I'll show you here. Got special refractory cement. Not the stuff you get from Home Depot or Menards. This is the real deal. The other stuff doesn't last. But if you check back on my channel, I think I got some information on how I built this. It's quite a ways back, and the videos are probably pretty poor because I had no experience and I was just kind of playing around. Get this guy lit. The blower fan here, this is a ribbon burner. the propane off. It sits a long time. This has been a long time since this thing been fired up. The fractory absorbs a lot of moisture, so you kind of want to heat it up slowly. So when things are red hot, it's hard to see where you need to bend. So you want to mark with like a chisel. I'm going to leave it a little long so we can cut it off if we need to. So our bending point needs to be about right there. So look for that mark when it's red hot in the forge. Look for, it's hot. Yep, it's hot. So you might have to go back in because I'm not prepared. Felt that with the gloves. I have to use tongs. Should have known better. There, see my mark now. This baby's hot. I have no idea if this is even going to work. It's surprising. You guys never knew I was that strong, did you? Not too much. The angles is sharper. I can feel the heat on my face. It's pretty close. The angle's a little shallower, but I don't think it's going to matter. Very, very close. I'm gonna leave it right where it is. And those will be cool in about 2 hours. I might throw them under the water over there if I get tired of waiting. Okay, I got these dried, or not dried, but cooled. So I think I'm going to cut these off where the good metal starts. I'll leave one for template so I can line it up real well before I weld it, but I'm going to go cut this off in the bandsaw and I'll be back. Okay, I got my cutoff piece here and I'm going to line it up to the piece that I made and mark it out where I need to cut it. Okay, I got it clamped down to the table. I think I got it lined up pretty good. I'm going to throw a couple tacks at it. gonna go ahead and weld this up the rest of the way. I'm a decent welder, definitely not a professional, but I can stick things together halfway decent. You're definitely going to feel the heft difference, but I slept on it and it was bothering me. It was just too heavy, I thought. So I cut it back off on the one I welded, cut it just a little bit ahead of the weld and then ground it down until there was a sliver of the whole piece here, and then I peeled it off. So I'm right back to where I was. I didn't hurt anything. I picked up the actual correct tubing and we're gonna start from scratch and rebend it. So we're gonna try an old school method here, filling this with sand. And by filling it with sand really tight, it prevents the tube from kinking when you bend it. So I got a cap welded on here. I got extra dry fine sand, which is really important. And we're gonna pour it in. And then we're gonna tamp it down in between. There we go. Oh, takes a lot less than you think, I guess. I'm gonna dump some of this out. As tight as you can get it. Fill it to the very, very top. And we'll put our cap on. And then we'll weld that one on. So I'm going to use the torch so I can get more of an isolated heat area instead of a long swooping bend when the whole thing is heated. If I heat in an isolated area, I get a tighter bend and match this closer to what I had. Just in case something would go explode or something. Yeah, I think I got a good bend on it there, and pretty much held the profile just as much as that one did anyway. So we'll do the next one. Okay, second one's done. Okay, we're gonna cut the ends off now. looks wet. I dried this out, or cooled it off. I guess I got water down in the tube. Let's cut this side. Let it turn into glass. All right, so now I can move on to what I actually started doing on these before I found the rusty handle. Is there was all kinds of slop in the bracket here because the bushings were gone. Someone had used a bolt. My fix for this is going to be, and I'm going to do it before I put that on, just give me some extra clearance in the mill. I got a bronze bearing, bronze bushing I'm going to use, but I got to bore this out. Originally there was a plastic sleeve in here, but I want to get a little bit more durability with these bronze sleeves. So I can do that by boring it with, this is a boring bar for Bridgeport, and you can put these little cutters in here and it spins and you can adjust it to whatever you want. So I'm going to try to get this going here. And I'm just going to level it using a parallel here against this flat piece of steel. So I'm making it smaller. It's cutting too big of a hole right now, so I can get it centered up. All right, now it's smaller than my original hole. It's pretty close to hitting all the way around. I had to charge the camera, so you guys missed some of that, but just bored it oversized. It's just kind of a tight slip fit. And I'll get a new 1/2 inch. So that's gonna really stiffen that up. That'd be awesome. Now I can weld handles back on there. I'll do that on camera since you already saw me weld one on, and we'll be on our way. Just pulled them out of the sandblaster. They look really, really good. Can't even hardly see where I welded them on. And the geometry looks exactly the same as what I had. So we'll move on to the brackets and get the bushings put in. We'll have these things licked. Okay, we got to focus on the brackets now. One of these has the stud already removed. Got to fill in some of the grooves that were cut in by the prior repairs, and then get this stud taken off so we can make new ones to fit our new bushings. So let's get this one cut off and we'll start. The easiest way for me to do this is just to use the mill and cut the weld flush all the way around. It should make quick work of it. I'm going to get my bushings put in the handles real quick so I have something to fit the pins to. Here's the finished handles that I painted. Got some high strength retaining compound. I didn't quite get this fit as tight as I'd like, but this stuff will lock them down. So we'll go ahead and get some of this on there. That stuff is set up pretty quick. Got the back flush. A little proud on the front, that's all right. Flush on the back. We'll let those sit, and now we can move to the pins. Here are the finished pins. Little groove for the circlip on the end, and they'll give me a good place to weld. I'll just center them up with the holes. So these are 4140, just some of the scrap I had laying around. Should be nice long life on those, good wear resistance with all the chromium in the steel on those. Made a little more progress on the latch side of things. This is a spring-loaded piece that holds the arms up. I built the ends up and tapered them or rounded them off. Oh, they had a bunch of wear on them. And then the bushings were real sloppy, so it caused these to kind of hit and bind up in here. So I turned some new bushings that are slightly oversized, and it tightens this up quite a bit here. So I'll get these sandblasted and painted, and then we can finally reassemble and call those done. All right, I got everything painted up here. So this is, let's see, it would be the left-hand side lap bar. So we're gonna assemble this one. We're gonna get the release lever on first. So our new bushing that we made. And goes, I think this is 1.5 inch bolt, or 1.25 inch. Double check me on that. And then spring. Yep, that's right. And then lock nut on the bottom. Okay, very little slop in that, so. Now the handle, put a little grease on the pin here. Half-inch machine bushing. And now our 1/2-inch E-ring clip. There we go. It's nice and snug, no play in it. Releases like that to fold up. Getting close to putting it on the machine here. So these handles, like I've said before, pull on the parking brakes. On this model, there's these cables that go down, and there's these little balls that the cables clip on. So I got those cleaned up, but I want to run a tap through this handle here first, get all the paint out of it. A little anti-seize on there. New lock washer. Okay, we can finally get these installed so I can get some parking brakes on this guy. Let's see here. Yep, that one's goes here. Need to double check if there's any washers on that. Good thing I checked. There are washers, and the bolts come from the other side. And if you know me, I like to do it exactly how it was from the factory, because that's going to cause some trouble with access. It's pretty tight on the back side here. Okay. This is where you need 2 people, because someone could easily be holding that on the back side. Yeah, I'm not gonna go real tight on those. I want to be able to adjust it while I'm sitting in there, and they won't hold into position unless I got the cables on down there. The other side's a little more open here. All right, I got the cables here laying on the seat. We need to slide the wand down through this interlock plate. I got it zip tied up. I got the clevis off of that end. Slide it down through the hole. And then it just clips on there. Okay. And then let me to see it, there's a lower lever, kind of this cross shaft. There's an arm that this clevis goes around. I'll see if I can't get you in there and put it on. I'll get it put on and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, got them both on and bolted tight to the cage. So that's how they sit. Let me show you the operation. So pretty close here, not perfect. There's some flex in the metal. But I pulled the seat pan back out. See if I could give you a view of kind of what's going on down there. You can see there's this spring and rod or lever. It runs over the rod and another lever over there. And I'll work this up and down so you can see it. See that? It's moving that, which in turn moves another cable and then pulls on those pins with the boot on down there. Get you some light. So it locks them in the pulled out position. One on each side, and this is held up. There's a little stopper that clamps to the cable, and when you lift up on this, it also, I keep hitting my video camera, I'm sorry. It pulls this up. Right now I got it zip tied up out of the way. When it's down, it goes over this these little arms here and prevents the control linkages for the loader from operating. So that's a good overview of how those lap bars work. If you got a newer style, it comes up overhead and it's a single U piece that comes down over your lap. The operation is similar, just the actual lever part is different. I also want to show you how much play are in the levers. Not much. Those new pins and the new bushings really made a big difference, so real happy with it. Well guys, to be honest, I wasn't planning on having an entire video on just the lap bars, but there was a lot of work to be done on them. Very time consuming, but a very functional, necessary functional part of the machine for safety and just for comfort of operation. If you notice, I got the loader bucket on here. This is not the bucket that came with the machine. This is one I bought separately because it is a case original for this. I believe this is the correct vintage bucket. It's a 60 or 62 inch bucket. Let me know what you think, if I should go ahead and sandblast and take all the dents and make the bucket match the skid steer, or should I just leave it as is and not worry about it? So I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. The bucket that came with it is a 72 inch toothed bucket. It's also a case bucket. I don't think I'm going to do anything with that bucket. If I do restore one, it's going to be this bucket here. So there's going to be another video of the just getting the odds and ends in place on this machine, and mainly just the small things that really take a lot of time or may or may not be super interesting, but I will fast forward all the dull spots. But anyway, I want to close this video out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.